Hi everyone, in this video I will share the 3 steps that I followed that allowed me to create an opportunity to change career and to improve my life. If you're interested, stay tuned. My name is Andréane and welcome to my channel, The Minimal Approach. This is the second video in my Change Career series, where my goal is to inspire you to live a more fulfilling and happier career. In this video, I share the 3 steps that allowed me to change career. So if you're new and you didn't watch the first video, I highly suggest that you go watch I Quit My Job and I'm Starting Over. I will put links so you can find the video. It really gives the backstory of how I decided to change career, so I think it's really important to watch it before this one. I'm going to disclaimer right now that everything that I'm saying is based on my experience exclusively, and I don't pretend to know the right way or how you should be making any decision. I upload these videos as a way to document my journey and perhaps inspire you by showing you that it's 100% doable to change career. Before I started to think to change career, what I did is a big introspection. And it all started because I couldn't see the next milestone or the next position that I was aspiring to, which led me to be less and less motivated by my work. And it felt really odd to me because I'm the kind of person that does 1-year goals and 5-year goals, and I've been doing that for so long, probably since I'm in high school, and I track these goals during the year and I break them down in smaller goals that I can just accomplish during the year. This year I created a vision board with all my goals, so that vision board is on my desktop and it's also the background of my phone, so I can just see these images and remind myself of all my goals, and I track them too with the Trello app so I can follow through with the smaller goals that are related to my vision board. So I'm really organized, goal-oriented. And it became clear that my actual job wasn't aligned with my vision board and my goals. And it felt like my day-to-day actions were not getting me closer to the life that I envisioned for myself. Having said that, I started having a major existential crisis, and that's how the first step started. I think the first step before making any big move is to reflect. It's really important that you figure out if it's just a bad day, a bad project, a bad period of the year. Are you always feeling more low on energy in November because the days are shorter? Are you doing a task that you really dislike but you know that it's just for a short period of time and otherwise you're happy in your job? Are you having just bad days because of personal events? Are you stressed out because of something else? Maybe you're fighting with your loved one. There can be so many reasons that you feel depressed, low, or drained. So I think it's important to get a big 360 vision of your life to figure out if it's work or if it's something else. And just to give you an example, I know that the summer season is really the high peak of the construction industry. So at the end of the summer, if you feel exhausted, I'm not sure it's the right time to quit because you just went through the most busy season of the year. So maybe you need to take time to reflect on that a little bit more. Or if you're bored at the end of January, well, you probably shouldn't quit because December and January are most likely the less busy months of the year. And the reason why this step is so important is because you don't want to be quitting something just because it was a bad period. Because there will always be some less fun task or less fun period in any job. The next step for me was to assess my skill. What experience did I have that was transferable to my new career? And depending on your situation, maybe you can skip this step and just go back to school directly and develop new skills. In my case, it was impossible because I couldn't afford to quit my job and go back to school full time. And I was way too drained to stay in my current position and go back to school and get another university degree and probably study 5 years part-time while still being in civil engineering. That was just not an option. So it was really important for me that I optimize my career change by using the skills that I already have. And that was a bachelor degree in civil engineering and 4 years of experience. And the next step for me was to identify the responsibilities that I had during these 4 years. And after I identified the responsibilities that I had, I narrowed it down to the responsibilities that I liked, which got me to realize that I love to communicate with people and I like to bridge the gap between two people that are communicate together but that have such a different background that they cannot communicate effectively. And as an example, I liked to bridge the gap between a carpenter and a structural designer. because most likely they won't use the same vocabulary, but both have very interesting perspective on the work that has to be done. I like to have ownership of a project or a task, and I like to be the hub of information. I'm organized and I like to divide the projects into smaller tasks and to organize these into a schedule. And that list left the things that I didn't like, doing calculations about structural design and being in competition with my coworkers. After I established that, I started to look at different careers where the management skills that I developed in my civil engineering background would serve me and then would require minimum training for me to change. Maybe you can skip that step if you have a passion or a gut feeling that something is right for you and that you should pursue a particular career. Maybe it's a hobby or something. I know that I love sewing, but I know that I wouldn't want to be making a career out of it because it's my hobby and I like it this way. And the next step is training for your new job. After that, I found out that my ideal career was as a software product manager, so I decided to start learning online how to do this job and to see if it's a good fit. We're fortunate enough to be living in a time where it's easy to learn online for minimum cost. Before making a decision about the best way for me to learn, I listed the major platforms and I compared their price and what they offered. It was important for me that you get evaluations and a certain certificate at the end. It was also a priority for me to get some sort of diploma or certificate because I wanted to be able to add these to my LinkedIn profile and also to my resume because my major wasn't really related to the jobs that I was applying for. I also wanted training that I could do at my own pace and at any time. I really needed this flexibility because I was still working full-time. I looked at Udemy, Skillshare, and Coursera. I decided to go with Coursera and I love the platform. I chose a 6-course specialization from the University of Alberta and I fell in love with the program. The fact that it's a specialization, it gave me a clear goal and it reminded me a lot of my structured curriculum in university. There were clear milestones and it was easy for me to track my progress. It was very satisfying to complete a module or a class. I really felt like all these hours of studying were getting me closer to my goal and my big vision, which was to quit civil engineering and to start a new career as a product manager. I have to say I suggest doing this whole process before you're too exhausted or too burned out because it does require a lot of energy. The way that I found to motivate myself was by counting how many weeks of work I had left to work in order to have a big enough safety net to stop working altogether. And that was just months. So I was really motivated to finish this specialization faster and change career quickly. I have to say that there have been some up and downs and sometimes I was just so tired and thinking, am I putting my energy in the right place? So I had to move stuff around in my schedule just to make sure that I adapt to this new commitment that I have that was to learn a new skill. I completed this specialization in 4 months and it was about 7 to 10 hours a week. At the end, we're all giving the same 24 hours a day and it's our responsibility to make the most out of it. In conclusion, I'd like to add that if I did it, you can do it for sure. I would advise to stay away from Debbie Downers. I mean, we all know someone that's just raining on your parade and that person most likely is afraid of change. Some people are not ready to be uncomfortable in order to change and improve their situation. Going through a career change doesn't happen without getting outside of your comfort zone. What I did is that I tried to meet as much people as I could that changed career, even if it was not related to civil engineering or anything like that. I just wanted to get inspired by surrounding myself with people that were thriving at their job or that were making steps to change or that just changed career already and were living a more fulfilling life. So these were the 3 steps that I followed that allowed me to change career. And if you like this video, please subscribe because I will continue to document my journey as I change career. I hope that you're living your best life and I will see you in the next video. Bye!